It's NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams for what should be a terrific matchup here tonight. From State Farm Arena, tonight it's the Atlanta Hawks taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. Controlled by the Philadelphia 76ers. Jay, it's a huge question in Philadelphia. What can Markelle Fultz be in his second NBA season?
He could be a former #1 pick in the NBA draft. He can still be a star. I don't think any of his shooting woes had to do with that shoulder injury last season. It was mental. It was the yips. He's been getting reps this entire summer with that form, with that rhythm. And if he keeps shooting the ball the way I've seen him shoot out in California, this kid could be a star next year.
Ben Simmons missed his first. That one goes.
Oh, man, you're not supposed to be able to do that with that size, but in today's game, dexterity and mobility are off the charts for bigs.
Curling inside. And he's fouled. Very close, Jay. Free throws coming up.
Guys like Gary Payton would always take ones early like this all the time. Number one, to see if they'll get caught. And number two, to leave a little mark on you to remind you that they'll be on you all game long.
And gets both to drop at the line. Ben Simmons with the rock. Ben Simmons, 2 for 3 now here in the first.
You see, you can't actually get mesmerized by the ball. You actually have to focus on the dribbler's belly button. I know that may sound cheesy, but trust me, he can't go anywhere without his core.
Can't connect from in close.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into that.
And a putback slam.
And that's what he does. I love players like this. We don't need to draw any plays for you to go out and get yours.
Trae Young to Kevin Huerter. Jay, I'm going to say that you don't know this, but since 1980, the Hawks have drafted only 4 players to appear in the All-Star game. Doc Rivers, Kevin Willis, Al Horford, and Jeff Teague.
Well, how about a guy named Dominique Wilkins? I'm sorry.
Oh, well, interesting that you'd ask. Dominique Wilkins was actually selected by the Utah Jazz. Hawks with the basketball. Inside, he scores.
You know what I like about this pass play? Instead of putting his head down and forcing the action, he patiently waited for the play to develop.
Simmons with it. Down a point. Dwayne Dedmon sends it away. That's his first of the game. Redick.
That kid can block out the sun, man.
To Trae Young. Doesn't have the touch. No good.
Misses happen. Don't put your head down. Let that motivate you on the defensive end. Use it for something positive.
Here's a chance from long range. His first effort off the mark. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
What a pass. I have no clue how that ball even made it through the traffic.
It's Atlanta ball. Driving right to the basket. Joel Embiid swats it. That's his first of the game. Knocked loose. Taken by the Sixers. Hawks come up with it. From the painted area, won't go down. Beyond the arc for 3. No good. Joel Embiid, huge block. That's his first of the game.
Don't stare him down like that afterwards.
Simmons into the front court. Counting down towards a minute to play here in a very tight opening quarter. To Redick. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Defenders could lose sleep with this guy. J.J. Redick, well defended, still knocks it down.
Okay, I see you throwing the ball like a quarterback in the pocket for the touchdown. Space is limited, so you must act soon. Visit our team website for more details.
Both teams tweaking their lineups. Here come some changes. Trae Young. To Kent Bazemore. Wide open look, won't go.
You see, Ed, this is where coaches get fired. It's great to have good offensive sets, but if you can't execute, then the play was a failure.
Converts in the paint. Nice finish at the rim.
I like that aggression early. You never just settle for jumpers. You attack, you attack, you attack. Then when they back off, you'll have room to shoot that, Jay.
Buries it on the catch and shoot.
Great shot by the offense. But the defense, you can't afford to collapse off that penetration. I'd rather a team take a tough two than a wide open three.
Markelle Fultz. Good start. He's made his first shot.
I don't know if the scouting report has made its way out here yet, but if anything, it says you need to not let him get that close to the rim.
Got a piece of it.
Jumping out the gym right now, Ed.
Great anticipation. Straight on three. At the buzzer. That ends the period. It's the Sixers out in front. First quarter complete, on to the second period. A little bit of a feeling out process so far.
Both teams are trying to feel each other out, but I like the aggression that both teams established in the first quarter. This is the first quarter league. The way you play in the opening minutes really sets the tone for the rest of the game.
Lynn to Kent Bazemore. Shot clock, it's coming down to 4. Now down to 3. Lets it fly from long range. Trae Young bothered just enough there. Here's Simmons with it up top. Leads 3. Oh, Ben Simmons. He's 3 of 5. 60% shooting from the field.
I know this for a fact, Ed. Ben Simmons wanted to channel his inner Bill Russell during the NBA awards as he stood up on that stage accepting that Rookie of the Year trophy, looking down at all the people that hated on him and didn't think that after a year of being injured that he can come back and be the one that everybody thought he could be. One of only 7 players in NBA history to lead his team to 50-plus wins while accepting the Rookie of the Year trophy.
Now a pass stolen by the Sixers.
That's called game plan execution to perfection. Every possession on the road is critical.
Here's Atlanta with the basketball. Trae Young down low for Len with a drop step. Finger roll, finishing with finesse.
There you go, finally. Shoot your shot.
Sixers finally break through. 52 wins last year. But, Jay, where do they factor in a top-heavy Atlantic division?
I still see this team finishing on the outside looking in. What I mean by outside is the 2 or 3 spot. I think this is Boston's division to lose, Boston's conference to lose. But still, the question marks with Toronto, Kawhi Leonard, does he really want to be there? Changing up their coach, what's going on with that franchise? And the question mark still is around Ben Simmons and his ability to shoot the ball down the stretch.
Here comes the screen. Shot from the lane won't go. To Fultz. Markelle Fultz. He is shooting well. He's made 2/3 of his shots.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball. And there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points.
New blood coming in for both sides. Has a chance. Knocks it down from mid-range.
Well, a couple of things. Number one, his range is as soon as he steps over the half-court line. He can shoot the ball from that far and will shoot the ball from that far, which goes to show you how confident he is. Secondly, he never seems to be squared up towards the basket. He can make shots off different angles, and he's able to take the ball and put it into pockets where as a defender, it makes you lunge towards it. But his quick hand speed combined with that quick release and his ability to shoot the ball from anywhere and everywhere on the court makes him one of the most dynamic scorers we've seen on the collegiate level for a very long time.
Hawks have it. Trae Young to Lin. Amir Johnson sends it away. That's his first of the game. Trying to cash in.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
And the finish at the rim.
Everybody in the building, including myself, thought that pass was going somewhere else. Fool me once? Okay, but you're definitely not fooling me twice.
Now a whistle and a timeout for Philadelphia. They'll catch their breath in what's now a 5-point game. Jay, what's the next step for Ben Simmons?
MVP, Ed. To win the MVP. But perception is reality. And I've been hearing this stuff from a lot of people who have been watching Ben Simmons show out this past summer on IG. One will perceive that Ben Simmons has already won a championship when that has not been the case. Ben Simmons needs to get back to the lab, stay in the gym, continue to work on that jump shot, because this is still a team that lost 1-4 to the Celtics without Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward.
Jeremy Lin. He's 2 for 2 now.
That's a strong finish. Regardless of contact, finishing strong is key.
Sixers have the basketball. Gets to the basket and scores.
I love the drive to the basket there. Instead of trying to go around or over, go through.
Lynn with it. Counting down toward a minute to go in this first half. Jumper's good.
There you go. I like seeing his scoring coming from unlikely sources.
Number 7, Jeremy Lin.
Going to launch beyond the arc.
To number 3, that's his first personal.
Jared Bayless at the line. And hits the first free throw. He delivers with 2 free throws.
For Philadelphia, number 21, Joel Embiid. And number 17,
Takes advantage of the foul. 3 for 3 at the line. Here's Atlanta. Lynn to Kevin Huerter. Lynn cleared out by Embiid. To Redick. Fires the 3. Not easy.
Ed, let me tell you how this one goes. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have some. Everyone's getting a piece of the rock tonight.
Lynn with it. 9-point margin. And they call it.
Those cat-like hands almost got a steal.
the 76ers now hold a penalty.
Knocked loose. Sixers have it. 4-3. That's off the side of the rim. Short.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
That's his first personal foul.
First free throw is good. Able to convert on both free throws. From long range. Well defended.
Shooters shoot. Period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep... Oh, he just blocked that shot out of bounds.
Yeah, they're lucky they get the ball back. Deep 3 at the buzzer. Time expires to end the first half. The 76ers have the lead.
Hey everyone, it's Jalen Rose, and I've got your EA Sports halftime report. The 76ers will start the second half with a decent lead. It was their playmaking, the way they gave each other scoring opportunities. That really impresses me. I love seeing unselfish basketball like that. These are the guys getting buckets for the Philadelphia 76ers. The Hawks were in need of a bit more scoring if they wanted the halftime lead. They've been scrappy, doing their best to be competitive. We'll see if their efforts are more rewarded in the second half. These are the guys getting buckets for the Atlanta Hawks.
Game track. Second chance points.
The Philadelphia 76ers know it's one thing to collect rebounds, and it's another thing entirely to convert those offensive rebounds into points. Thus far, they've done a great job of taking advantage when they keep a possession alive.
Player of the half.
Joel Embiid is up in the air swatting shots. When he's not doing that, he's down on the floor making steals. Who wouldn't be impressed by a first half like that?
Who was cold?
No one wants to be picked for this segment, but he couldn't avoid it. Maybe he'll turn things around in the second half.
Here we go with the top plays from the first half.
Number 2. Number 1.
Thanks for joining us for the halftime report. The second half is about to get started.
Jay, it wasn't that long ago. Atlanta won 60 games. Right now, what's the outlook for this franchise?
Well, the general manager, Travis Schlenk, has done a really good job in trying to build the culture, the right culture for the Atlanta Hawks. And that starts with their head coach in Lloyd Pierce. He got him as an assistant coach with the Philadelphia 76ers. And now he can also steal that tagline for the Hawks. It's time to trust the process all over again, but now in Atlanta, Georgia.
For three, can't connect. Fires the three, misfires. It's no good. To Redick. Here's a chance from long range. No good. That's great defense. Beyond the arc for three. That's off the side of the rim. No good. To Redick. Shot from in close. No good.
This team is collectively feeding off their negative energy so far in the second half. Everybody is mad. Everybody is frustrated. Nobody's decided to take the torch and say, hey, look, follow my lead.
Simmons. Inside, he scores.
Ed, did you see what this pass just did? Now it encourages his teammates to move with more sense of urgency because they understand that next time down the court, they might be on the receiving end of that pass.
Short jumper misses. To Simmons. That's no good. Knocked loose. Taken by the Sixers.
Here's your chance to break this thing wide open.
Simmons. Oh, Ben Simmons. With that, he's 5 for 9.
As a rookie last year, Ben Simmons averaged 16 points a game and posted 12 triple-doubles, the second most by any rookie in NBA history. Or was last year really his rookie year? We can debate that one later.
Buries it on the catch and shoot.
And the game flow in the second half is completely different than the first. That first half equals out of sight, out of mind. Way to recalibrate in the locker room and find your rhythm back on the court.
Simmons. It goes down.
You know, I'm going to say something that people probably won't like, but guess what? I don't care. I'm already crowning Ben Simmons as a top 5 playmaker in the league. His first true season, he had 18 points, 8 assists, and 8 rebounds. He could finish around the rim and make everybody else around him look great. There's no doubt about it. He has all the ingredients to be the heir to the throne.
It's the Hawks with the basketball to Trae Young. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Trae Young able to knock it down. Tough shot with the hand in his face.
That one year he played at Oklahoma, the first half of the season, everybody was claiming him, including myself, as the National Player of the Year. And then after he became the main point of focus for other teams, you started to see diminishing returns. His game started to get a little bit sloppy. He was a volume shooter. So now I think he has to be more sharp, more in tune with how his team plays, and throw himself into what the team is doing first. He's a better passer than what he gives credit for. If he's able to pass and get other people involved, inevitably his shot will come around.
Whistle stops play. Timeout here for Atlanta as their coach wants to get a word in with his guys here in this third quarter. coming off a 24-win season, Jay, but not one, not two, but 3 first-round draft picks.
Yeah, they got a big-time shooter in Kevin Huerter from Maryland. They got Omari Spellman, who won a national championship with Villanova, highly utilized in pick and pop. And then they got a very polarizing pick in Trae Young, who set college basketball on fire, one of the most gifted scorers you have in this draft.
Some lineup changes now for both clubs. He gets it.
You know, every once in a while, you'll find a fearless scorer. Well, this fearless scorer has unlimited range who can transform the geometry of the floor. Mark that down.
Trae Young to Kevin Huerter. Trae Young curling inside. Shot clock winding down. Lets it fly from long range. Trae Young bothered just enough there.
And big-time coaching strategy by the staff right there, utilizing their bench, keeping fresh legs on that shooter consistently throughout the course of the game.
To Ken Bazemore. Going to launch beyond the arc. Where's the chatter? No one was even close to him.
We love to break this game down analytically. We even love to break it down more psychologically. But sometimes it's just about settling into the game. Seemed like in the first half, things were rushed. Now we finally see them have their composure and their poise.
And counted at the rim.
This guy has posted 12 triple-doubles in his first full rookie year. That's his second most by any rookie in NBA history while leading his team to the Eastern Conference Finals. But how about this? When's the last time we said the most effective player maybe in the league has a glaring weakness? He was 0 of 11 from the three-point line for the entire year, did not make one three-point shot. And how about free throws? He shot 56% from the free throw line. You know who shot better? Dwight Howard and DeAndre Jordan. But with all that being said, this young man still finds himself in a position to be one of the most dominant players in NBA history.
Fires the three. From long range. Dives for it. Not afraid to mix it up. Hawks with the basketball. A bad pass as the Sixers come up with the steal. He'll put it up at the buzzer. 3 quarters complete. It's the Sixers out in front. It's been a compelling game so far. The fourth quarter is underway.
Just a reminder today, folks, if our team wins the game and
Fultz with the basketball. Up 6. 4-3. Can't get the bounce. Trae Young to Jeremy Lin. Missed it. They weren't going to give that to him.
But you can't just be a one-dimensional player. I know you're probably frustrated by me even saying that, but when you don't even give the option to pass the ball by utilizing some head fakes or ball fakes here and there, you save the defender by keeping them on their toes with the element of surprise.
Ah, the monster stuff.
And easy, too. Get back on defense.
Got it.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. The jumper's off the mark. Philadelphia with the basketball. For 3. Not getting the bounce. Surveys the floor. Right down Broadway for the 2. Defender has to pick him up.
Mark my words, Ed, about Trae Young. He is such a dynamic scorer that either he'll end up playing alongside Stephen Curry and Dame Lillard in multiple All-Star games, or he'll be a role player similar to Jamal Crawford-esque as a spark plug off the bench and can score against anybody.
Trae Young to Lin. And look out. Big finish at the rim.
We call that get your money and put it in the bank.
Fultz into the front court. His team up by 7. Fires the three. Markelle Fultz forcing that one there. Well defended. Here's a chance from long range. Not going down here.
And there's always so much talk about defense. How about offensively? If you continue to attack that shooter, now you're making him work on the defensive end. That makes him take his legs away on the offensive end.
To Jeremy Lin. Markelle Fultz with the block. That's his first of the game.
You know, sometimes basketball can become a very beautiful thing to watch. During the regular season, things can get difficult. Energy can be low. The passion at times can even be lower because players are tired. They're fatigued. But today, it's all been good. They're putting in an absolute show with killer efficiency and tremendous effort and intensity.
Teacher of the Year. The winner will receive courtside seats and a halftime presentation in his or her honor. Nominations can be submitted on our team website.
Both coaches dipping into their reserves. Changes coming onto the floor. Sixers control. McConnell. Beyond the arc for 3. Cleans it up. The follow won't go either. The follow won't go either.
Yo, big kudos to the defender. It seems like his mere presence in the paint was enough to make the offensive player miss the shot before he even got off the ground.
Joel Embiid rejects it. That's his first of the game. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. He is yet to hit one tonight. No good. Joel Embiid snatching it out of the air. That's his first of the game. Down the lane to lay it in.
The defender needs to do a better job of forcing a pickup there.
Has a look. Deep 2 there. Won't go. Oh, he's denied.
Oh, big man doing work right there.
Changes coming from both sides right now.
Philadelphia 76ers. Number 17, J.J. Redick. Entering the game for the Hawks. Number 14.
Lin to Kevin Huerter. Lets it fly from long range. He took the bait, and he hits.
Just because someone is listening to you doesn't mean that they actually hear you. At the end of the game, when players get tired, they listen to what the assignment was, but they didn't hear what it was.
Joel Embiid at the line. Knocks down the first. Good free throw shooting. Knocks down a pair. It's Atlanta ball. Lin. Nice pass to set things up.
Look, there was barely any contact on that last play. I agree with the ref's no call. Let him play.
Redick. J.J. Redick. He's 3 for 7.
If you're coaching against this player, you have to throw some fake traps, some fake schemes. How are you making this player think instead of just naturally reacting?
To Lynn. He gets it in the left corner. Going to launch beyond the arc. Sixers have it.
You better get back on D. This thing is not over.
Fires the three. Like the confidence. Tough shot there from McConnell. From long range. That no good. Off the mark. 4-3. Prince there for the rebound. And the slam.
You never want to leave anything to chance when you attack the rim. You finish strong every time you head home.
And count the basket inside. The Hawks will use a timeout. They trail by 2. And the question, do they look for the tie in overtime? Or do they go for it all with a 3? Substitution being made in this one. For 3. Rebound taken by the Sixers. Now they get the intentional foul. And this one not over yet. 2 huge free throws coming up in a 2-point game.
Okay, now look over to the sideline and see what the staff is trying to draw up on the next play. That's good clock management thus far.
He makes them both. Now the Hawks coach gonna call a timeout. That's their second of the final 3 minutes. No more timeouts left the rest of the game.
So we asked the All-Star game take place in the designated areas located outside of the arena. Thank you for your cooperation.
Lynn. Oh, he couldn't get it to go. Desperation shot here from half court. That misses with a second to go. The Sixers are victorious as they win this one by 4. For Jay Williams and all our crew, I'm Ed Cohen saying so long for now. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
The EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The 76ers edged out a close victory in today's game. They did it with blocks, and they did it with steals. More to the point, they did it with excellent defense. They committed to the grind and got rewarded as a result. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored. For the Philadelphia 76ers, the Hawks
just couldn't close this one out.
The number of threes they scored was astounding. But as we all know, The most important total is not the number of threes. It's the total number of points on the board. And they didn't have enough of them. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Atlanta Hawks.
Game track. Three-point shooting.
Each of these teams were solid with their long-range shooting. So by extension, they were pretty poor with their perimeter defense. Closing out on shooters must always happen, whether you're tired or not.
Player of the game.
If you asked him, I'm sure he'd give the credit to his teammate and coaches. But at the end of the day, we know that he's the one that made the biggest impact on this game.
Who was cold?
What can you say about a guy like this? Except that he fits the title of this segment. He was definitely cold in this game. Top plays, and we've got 3 of them for you.
Number 2. Number 1.
Here are the upcoming games for the Atlanta Hawks. The 76ers finished with a narrow victory on the scoreboard. The defense in this matchup was outstanding. When they weren't blocking shots, they were making steals, and it all came together for a terrific win. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Philadelphia 76ers. The Hawks are probably frustrated with themselves after such a narrow loss.
And as you can see, it doesn't matter how many threes you hit if you don't follow it up on the defensive end of the floor.
Here are the guys who put up the most points for the Atlanta Hawks.
Game track. Three-point shooting.
Each of these teams were solid with their long-range shooting. So by extension, they were pretty poor with their perimeter defense. Closing out on shooters must always happen, whether you're tired or not.
Player of the game.
And what we have here are highlights worth 1,000 words. There's no question he stood out amongst the rest in today's matchup.
Who was cold?
This isn't the segment you want to be in, of course, but even the best players find their way into this part of the show.
These are the top plays of the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
These are the upcoming games for the Atlanta Hawks. The 76ers emerged victorious after a tight finish. They did it with blocks and they did it with steals. More to the point, they did it with excellent defense. They committed to the grind and got rewarded as a result. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the Philadelphia 76ers. The Hawks finished on the losing end of a close score. They definitely could have won a three-point contest with the way they shot the ball here today. But the goal was to win the game. Check out the leading scores for the Atlanta Hawks.
Game track. Three-point shooting.
Each of these teams were solid with their long-range shooting. So by extension, they were pretty poor with their perimeter defense. Closing out on shooters must always happen, whether you're tired or not.
Player of the game.
Being able to put up these kind of numbers is always impressive, but having the ability to lead and inspire is something special.
Who was cold?
Every player that makes it to the NBA is a great athlete, but even the best players have their off nights. Today was just one of those days for this guy. Here are the top 3 plays from the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
These are the upcoming matchups for the Atlanta Hawks. The 76ers.
Almost let this one get away from them, but they managed to get the victory.
The defense in this matchup was outstanding. When they weren't blocking shots, they were, and it all came together